What's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Lopes.
I'm Ben Kirsch.
And welcome to the You Should Be Worried podcast.
Hell yeah.
Where little two baby boys, usually it's three, but Chris is still in Scotland. He's coming back today. It was supposed to be me and Chris this episode, but he's getting back too late, so it's not going to happen.
When Chris left, he gave me, it felt like so much money because he just, gave me a payment for 3 pods.
Yeah.
But now this is, now he's in debt. Before I was like, oh, yeah, Chris make me so rich. Now it's like...
Also, when he's out there, is he paying for his own living accommodations, or does friends usually do that for them?
I gotta imagine that. I mean, it's probably somewhat out of pocket, but they gotta help somehow. You can't.
I think they also make money off of the shows they do, though, too.
Okay, that makes sense because you can't have a 25-day festival and be like, yeah, we got the Hyatt,
right?
And you're like, what?
Yeah, I heard
it's $200 a night.
Yeah. That's so sick, though. I feel like when he comes back,
I lost $30,000 at Edinburgh Fringe.
Money he didn't even have. He took out credit and he took out a credit score under his own name in Scotland. And doesn't even.
His credit score in Scotland blows.
I feel like in those other English-speaking countries, you don't really need to apply for citizenship. Doesn't the fact that you speak English already just mean you deserve to be there?
I guess so.
If you're in Scotland or you're in England, why do you have to actually? I feel like you already being there and being able to speak English language, people are already gonna not.
That's one of the things that fucks me up so much because it's we're so far removed that I just naturally assume oh, I'm from America, we speak English. But it's no, we speak English. Because everyone in Scotland and Europe, they all speak English. That's
Isn't
why,
that crazy
That's
shit?
why we speak English.
That's so nuts.
It's so weird.
I always assumed that because we're us in Canada, I thought we were the English-speaking countries.
Right.
And then people in England
speak English.
Which is a whole
Scottish
language.
And shit, bro. No, y'all speak Dusseldorf. What's going on?
But I also feel when we look at other countries that don't, or other people from other countries that don't speak the same language as us, when they come here and they speak their own language, that's what makes me feel okay, you're not from here.
No, I know.
But people can still speak our language and not be from here. I forget that all the time.
That's a possibility.
You know
what's funny too is because I feel like the United States is among, if not are we the richest country in the world?
I don't know.
We're up there, obviously.
I think India's up there too.
Are they?
Yeah. Don't they have the Taj Mahal? Isn't the Taj Mahal made of gold?
Can't even speak on this before.
I think the Taj Mahal is all gold.
I think the Taj Mahal, you can't wear metal shoes in there. You'll fuck up the floor and stuff. It's really soft.
Hey, take your shoes off before you enter the Taj
We have a really
Mahal.
soft floor.
We have a really gold floor.
It's gold and soft.
It's all gold and soft. Gold and soft is my favorite.
We make fun of British people because we're oh, you call fries chips and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's we're just the younger sibling that got cooler.
Yeah,
and now we're the ones that are you're weird.
People in England are the boomers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone in America, regardless of age, we're Gen Z.
Right.
Compared to England because because we came after.
It's just so weird.
I like that a lot. I feel like England will never let up on England because of that. We'll always think that we're cooler than England and Britain because we were made afterwards, Well, we're always going to just be more progressive in every sense.
What do you think a McDonald's would be like if the British never came and took over the Native Americans? If we were just Native American built this whole time?
Oh, I'm sorry. So are you saying that me and you are Native American or we don't exist?
Either we're who we are and we live in fucking Germany or wherever we come from.
Okay.
Or we are Native American and you go down to fucking 7-Eleven and some guy's I am running tree and this is
this is my McDonald's.
I am Stinky Wind and this is
what would they call it?
I know.
They'd call it place where patties be flipped.
Mick Eagle.
McBurger.
Everything with them is so damn literal.
Yeah.
It's so
it's
funny.
he who sits on rock and he who flips a patty.
He who flips patty. Squanto invented
He
this
who
one.
puts the lettuce on the bun. Mixed sandwich makers.
Mixed sandwich makers.
Mixed super sandwich.
I think that would be
That's
sick.
what it'd be called.
Oh my god.
I don't even know why it's called McDonald's. Is it because McDonald's is the last name of the guy who started it?
Yeah. Have you ever seen the movie Founder?
No, I want to. You've told me to watch
I'll watch that with you today. Unless there's something good coming out in the movies, then we have to go to Cinemark.
Oh, fuck. I'll watch The Founder today.
It's a good movie. It also makes you fucking really despise, like I love McDonald's, but what that guy did was so fucked.
Well, not from his business perspective. He lives in
No,
America.
not from a business perspective. He crushed it, bro.
Crushed it.
Killed.
Smart.
BM 101. Damn. No,
Smart.
but from a like a personal perspective, he was so mean.
Oh, like
he basically
he's so unempathetic and asympathetic.
Basically, and because not to bore the pod, but he was a shady salesman selling like milkshake. Malcolm cough.
Is that it? Was that what that was? I thought his tail hit like one of the fucking stiles on the railing. Dude, dogs throwing up is the funniest fucking thing.
He was selling like milkshake makers, like he was going to drive-ins, being like, "Look, you can make 3 milkshakes at a time with this thing."
Oh shit! Okay.
And nobody wanted them because they were like, "We don't even sell that many milkshakes, so don't worry about it."
Whoa!
So it wasn't until he went to McDonald's that they were like, "Hey, our business is booming. We can't fucking make enough milkshakes for these people." And he was like, "Oh, I got tons of milkshake makers."
Okay.
So he went and drove over. I think they were in like California, and they were like the only company or the only small business that were like, we cannot keep up with milkshakes. So he went and sold them the milkshake machines, but then he was also kind of like taking a look at their business. And he was like, damn, like this is a really small place, but y'all got like a fucking line out the door for these burgers.
That's so
and
sick.
the 2 McDonald's guys are like the nicest dudes ever. Their last name is McDonald, and they called it McDonald, or it might have been a combination of their names.
Okay.
They just liked the name McDonald because it seemed like an American household name.
Yeah.
And
McDon and Alds.
they had it all planned out where they like had like the grills and all the stations. Like they were the first company to like plan out where all the cooktops and furniture was, so that they could most efficiently.
That's
get
so
you your
sick,
shit.
dude.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so sick.
But dude, Ray Kroc saw that and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna fucking monopolize the shit out of you guys, dude." Like they did not. They were anti-franchising the McDonald's guys. They were like, "We don't want to be a chain. We think the quality goes down when you're a chain." Like, who knows what McDonald's tasted like back then?
Probably so good.
So good.
And so cheap.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god.
No wonder people.
It was
are
like
going
1955.
there. Dude, that's so fucking sick.
But yeah, he was like, they had like all these like, because I think they were like engineers or something. They had like all these like crazy things where like you could like squeeze a gun and like the mustard relish and ketchup would come out at the same time.
Okay.
Like they were thinking of everything to just get the burger as quickly as they can.
Fuck.
To the customer. And then, yeah, the whole movie is about how Ray Kroc was like, let's go into business together. And then like slowly over time, he just like, he would like make business decisions and like contractually not include them. And then it got to a point, like, it was also kind of on them because they didn't like lawyer up. They just were like nice guys who trusted
Yeah,
Ray.
of course. Right,
They
right.
should have like lawyered up and been like,
But you don't think about that back then.
you don't think about that
'Cause
back
shit like
then.
that's not happening.
Yeah,
back then,
exactly.
you
And
know?
dude, he's got the fucking largest monopoly like in the world.
Fuck.
How crazy is that?
That's so crazy.
It's so bizarre.
That's nuts as fuck. Did you know Subway's even bigger than McDonald's?
Is it actually?
Yeah, it's bigger.
I could see that
You've
because
seen the from the Little Dicky show, Dave, where he goes to jail. There's this part where he's like talking to one of his cellmates, like, "You know, Subway's the biggest chain in the world, even like bigger than McDonald's." And the guy's like, "What?" And he goes, "You hear that about Subway?" He just says it again. I love that about that fucking about his comedy. His style of comedy is just like being an awkward conversation.
That happens
and he
too in
includes it in the music. Like usually in music, like you just say the important shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, we're gonna spend time.
No, we're gonna spend
getting
time,
through
yeah.
this piece of dialogue."
like he'll show you something that's like 10 minutes long and he's like, lyrically, this is the best shit you should ever listen
yeah.
to.
But that song could easily be like a 4-minute song.
Oh, yeah.
And he extrapolates it, and the longer it goes, the funnier it is.
Did you know that? That's funny. As
So
fuck.
good. The founder being Ray. His name is Ray Kroc, and he
so.
made that place. He made that place so fucking huge. But so the people who owned the original McDonald's, did they get anything from the whole expansion and franchising?
No, he like basically was like, for
I would kill
handshakes.
myself.
Yeah, he fucked them over bad. They like restarted a new burger place.
Shake Shack.
That's how we got
know.
Shake Shack. When was Shake Shack invented? It's new, right?
I think it's new.
Those
I think
guys
it's
are
new.
crushing
There's
it.
this one place that when I went to Missouri, St. Louis called Pappy's, and Pappy's has like the best like ribs, dude. And it's like a smallish restaurant, and the line was out the door.
For
like
what?
For like to get these ribs in St. Louis, which is
amazing.
known for its fucking barbecue.
Yeah.
We went at lunchtime, and literally there was over an hour wait.
Yeah, I can see that.
And people were like in a line standing. Like it's not like an hour wait, you leave and you come back in an hour. Like no, you had to stay in line for the whole hour.
Yeah.
Like because the line went. They know they're so popular that instead of like having everybody wait outside since it was so hot outside, there was a line inside the restaurant, like looping around the entire perimeter of the inside of the restaurant.
Oh, that's
so
crazy.
people are like watching you eat and shit.
Yeah.
No, but Pappy's is so good. Like that, the ribs used to like just like as soon as it came out, the rib like the meat would fall off the bone.
That's what you want.
And you could literally just like rip a piece off, and it came off the easiest.
You don't want a
you
piece.
dip it in the barbecue sauce and you eat it, and it's so fucking.
I can't stand ribs where you're like,
me too.
sucking
I don't
your
like
teeth
it
on them, dude.
I'm not even a big ribs guy. I went there; they're fucking so good.
It'll just make you appreciate that kind of food.
Yeah, but then like, what happens if you do like the whole thing with this whole Haven Hot Chicken opening like fucking 10 new restaurants or 10 new locations in Connecticut? Like, it makes me feel like okay, that's a good business decision, but I'm not okay with them like now trying to save money by having all these new locations and then going back on the quality of some of their ingredients and shit like that, you know?
Right.
Like what's gonna happen, I can already see it in the future, is Haven Hot Chicken is gonna become, or it might become like so big where the chicken that they use on their burgers, like the signature fucking huge ass piece of chicken, it's gonna get so much smaller, it's gonna change shape or some shit like that.
Or it's just gonna get shittier in quality.
Yeah, which is horrible. It's horrible. It's not what you want at all. It's not what you want.
Because then you have to also, because even if you don't change the ingredients, bro, this is what I hate about when you're like, oh, like I don't go to the Wendy's down the street from here because it sucks. It's like, you don't even need to be good at cooking it. Just fucking follow the directions the right way. You know what I mean? It's like, it gets to a point where you guys have so many locations that like whoever's teaching this guy wasn't even taught right.
Yeah.
So now it's like, I can't even get something that's
Dude,
like
that's so true.
made correctly.
That's
you know,
so
it's
true.
like, I already am expecting the food to be like lower quality. But it's like, don't fucking make the bacon cold. You know, like just simple shit. You know? I'm not expecting it to be good bacon, but like now that it's not good bacon and it's cold, you make me want to set this place on fire.
So true.
It's like you have such an easy fucking job. That's the thing too, bro, is like
so much.
those like there's that whole argument of like fast food workers are like so bothered and shit. And like, dude, trust me, I worked at a drive-in. Like I know what it's like to have days where you're like, fuck, like I'm like not fucking like I hate my life right now.
Yeah.
But I have never, ever, even at the comedy club, like when people are being like shitty towards me, unless you're being shitty towards me to a point where I find a green light to be shitty back at you.
Yeah.
It's like nothing ever strikes me to be like short with a person.
Right.
Like, you know, when you go up to like a McDonald's and like, what's up? And you're like, hey, can I get
Yeah,
it?
what is that?
You're like, yeah.
Dude, what is that?
You're like, are you a fucking human being? Like
I don't get it.
I don't, like, is your life that bad? Because, bro, like I could think of a million shittier jobs than this.
It's fucking mind-boggling when you get.
You didn't get out of jail and
like,
someone was like, "You're gonna work at that
want?
McDonald's now."
Like, what do you want as the first thing you?
Dude, I
say?
wanna like, I wanna do crazy shit to that building. I wanna go nuts,
Dude, it's same shit. Like I don't know if I already talked about it on the pod, but a couple weeks ago I went to Sonic and this lady was like, "Yo,
oh, that's crazy,
horrible shit."
That's crazy.
I order the or no, I get there. It's 11. No, they close at 11 o'clock. I get there for 10:40, 10:45, right? 15 minutes.
15 minutes in a drive-through too is a long time.
Before they close, right? Yes, and it's horrible. And I'm sitting there and nobody is answering. No one is answering the drive-through.
Oh, you weren't even in line?
I was the first one. I was right there. There was no line.
Oh my god.
And then so I'm waiting there from
That drove me nuts.
from 10:45 to 10:55. Right, and there's a line behind me now. There's like 3 cars behind me that are also trying to get food. And so I'm like, okay, this is crazy. I'm going to drive up to the window and see if anybody's actually in here, you know? Because if you're going to close down a restaurant, you can do that 5 minutes before, 15 minutes before, you know you're still getting customers.
No, now you're just being
You know?
ridiculous.
You're being a little ridiculous. I want to say. Maybe that's us being, whatever, privileged or whatever the fuck. I don't know what it is. But
you're going to a place that
feel-
food's going to be done in 3 minutes anyways.
Yes, also exactly. And you're open till 11. Work till 11.
Work till 11.
Work
dude.
till 11. Close. Like, you can have other people on staff closing down while you're still making fucking food until 11, you know? And I understand if you're the only one there, then maybe, and that might have been the case for this, so I might give her some slack. But I get there, I drive up to the actual window, and I'm looking in, and I don't see anybody. I don't see anybody in there. And it's 10:55 now. And then at 11:03, a woman comes to the door, she opens the door, and she goes, "What?"
Yeah. Dude, yeah.
And I go, I was in the line for like 50. She's like, "We're closed." I was like, "But it says you guys are open till 11." She goes, "Yeah, but we're closed." And she's not even doing that thing where like she's looking at me and like talking to me. She's looking up in the air like, I don't want to, like, I know if I'm wrong. Like, it was one of the things like, I'm sorry, sir, we're closed.
She did not want to make eye contact.
She did not.
But she's probably done that so many times because that Sonic gets fucked.
Yeah, but it's so
fucked up.
fucking, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And I knew while walking into it that they probably didn't even have ice cream. But the fact that made me sit there for 15 fucking minutes and then still, like, I understand the ice cream machine probably closes down half hour, 15
But somebody
before
come
close.
outside and warn me.
Someone take orders though.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You can't
that's
do
so
that.
fucked.
It's so crazy. It's crazy ass shit.
That's like you know what's funny, dude, is it's also just such a fucking East Coast thing because people here are just so like fucking out, like just so sick of it.
Yeah.
Because in the Midwest, shit like that doesn't happen really ever. Like
It
people,
doesn't?
I mean, it does from time to time, but people are so much more accommodating and so much more like you could be at a fucking drive-through and now you're just talking to this guy about like your dogs or some shit. Like they're very like, oh, let's have a conversation right now.
Whoa.
But I will say dude, Grace got a fucking taste of some East Coast medicine when we went to the Donut Crazy.
Uh-huh.
Because we're like getting back in the car and she's like fucking mad. And I'm like, oh, that wasn't even that bad, you know? And shit. But like we went to the Donut Crazy. The woman is putting a fucking box together for like so long.
Okay.
Like I'm looking at her just like folding the fucking, like you could easily just like
box, just try to
put
fold
this down, turn around and be like, what do you guys want? You know what I mean? But instead she's like putting the box together and she's maybe 4 feet away from me behind the counter. And I'm like, Grace is like, what are you thinking of? And I'm like naming different egg sandwiches. I was like, I think I'm gonna get the Barnyard. That one looks pretty good. And then finally, like, we have this whole little like 5-minute ordeal of like, all right, I'm gonna get that. Do you want that? I'm gonna order. She's like, as soon as I'm about to speak, she just goes, oh yeah, girls close. Girls close. Like, you heard us have this whole conversation.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, and then I didn't even say anything to her. We just walked out, dude.
It's the worst. I really don't understand what's, like, I get, like, a part of me gets it, right? Like, I understand why people don't want to work because, like, whatever, they're underpaid or whatever, they're not making enough money, and then, like, however the culture is now with, like, minimum wage jobs, whatever the fuck, you know?
Right.
I get all of that. But then there's also this part of me that's just like, I think it does come from whatever the fuck, like from us just living in Connecticut where shit is usually okay, you know, where whenever we get that one little experience of like how people actually like feel, it just makes us feel like we have such the need to complain about it. You know?
Right. I mean, that's
But
right.
as you were saying to Grace, like, oh, this shit's like what we deal with here,
Yeah.
you know? And her being from the Midwest.
Dude, she got back in the car. She was like, what the fuck was that? She's like, I can't, like, yeah. Do you think when they used to throw babies off the, like, ledge in, like, the Greek times, you know, when they'd be like, oh, it's a girl, and they'd fucking punt it?
Would they actually do that?
Yeah, it's like I don't know if it's like it's like a old school, like 1300s, 1400s, like the fucking Spartans.
They would literally kill the baby.
They'd be like, fuck, like this baby is deformed. And they would just like chuck it off like a really high mountain.
Oh shit.
And I always wonder if there was some times where like, you know, when you go to throw a football and you kind of lose the seams and it kind of dribbles weirdly down the back of and you're like, oh damn it.
You think anybody's ever misthrown a baby? Dropped the baby while trying to throw it.
And then
away?
it died from that height, and they're like, yo, you don't even have to throw him off the mountain, bro.
I didn't know this shit was that fragile.
You could just push it off the countertop.
That's really good.
That's crazy, bro.
That's fun.
I just think about that because it was some guy's job, and he was probably mortified.
Yeah.
And after a while, he got desensitized and probably fucked up his form sometimes.
It's like, damn, dude, I really gotta throw this baby that far for it to fucking die.
Are they twins? I'll do both at the same time.
Yeah. That's so funny to be like, he thinks that he has to throw the baby far. You're like, this shit's so fucking, and he gets mad. He just fucking throws his whole table of babies like just like on the ground.
They all die.
And they all die. He's like, oh.
Everyone's saying these guys are made out of fucking steel.
Oh.
Back then, they thought baby bones were stronger.
Yeah.
They're so young. He's got such strong bones.
He's a human. Obviously, he's one of the strongest things alive. Dude. We have to throw it far. Like, no, dude, it's a fucking baby. His bones haven't formed yet.
The fucking girl giving birth to the half alien, half human thing in Alien Romulus was one of those things in movies where, like, I still think about it. Like, it's living rent free in my brain, and it's making me feel a certain type of way because we were watching it, and I remember looking at Jared, and Jared is just like, we are all just like, because it's one of those things where it's like she's giving birth and it looks super painful, and you're just like, oh, as a man, I can't even relate. You know what I mean? Right. I am just putting, like, my brain is imagining what
exactly. Like, when you're a woman, you can actually, you have that part of the body.
You have the part of the body to be like,
you're
oh. But as a man, it's almost like, not worse, but different in a way where you're like, I feel like we even heighten it because you're like, I don't even know what that feels like. And it's probably awful.
But I also feel like women who've never given birth before, they see that and they're like, okay.
Dude.
Because they never experienced that pain yet, you know? Like, you know how, like, when we see, like, whatever in film or whatever, where, like, the man's penis is something like, big is coming out of the penis.
Yeah.
The penis looks so fucking overly inflated.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, that's fucking fake.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how women who haven't given birth yet feel about vaginas that are giving birth.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
You know?
That could be true. That could be true. That shit was just crazy.
Sounds fucking crazy.
It was the birth was nuts, and then it's like the way they did it, where like you didn't see what it was when it came out, like just like this weird like pod, like this egg came out. She basically gave birth to like a fucking egg.
Oh, okay.
And then
ectopic pregnancy.
Fucking the girl Rain is like grabbing the egg and she throws it on the ground and it's just sinking through the ship because it's covered in acid. Yeah. And now you're thinking like, oh, that birth must have been so painful. Like she just gave birth to an acid egg. And
so probably melted out of her pussy.
Oh, dude, it like sinks to the fucking bottom of the ship and then she finds it and it's just like cracked open. And you're like, oh, whatever was in there fucking hatched, bro. And then when they reveal the fucking human alien thing, it was just like, it's like when a movie has created such a universe and you're like, but they've never done this. You're the fuck, dude? Fuck. Where has this been the whole time? Jesus Christ. They needed to get to Romulus.
But I thought the aliens come out of your chest. Thank you guys so much for watching this week's episode of You Should Be Worried. As always, having a fun time. Next week, Chris will be back.
Yeah, we think.
It's great. It's a great time. Make sure you follow him on all social media platforms at Chris Warren Comedy. Make sure you follow me at Matty Fucko everywhere. And follow Ben at BennyBoy_28 on all platforms.
Yeah.
Follow You Should Be Worried on all social media platforms and on YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe on this video. And you're also going to want to check out In the Making ITM on all social media platforms as well. We got a lot of funny sketches coming out, a lot of good content, and we don't want you to miss that. So please go and do that. Do yourself a favor and go and check all that out. It's going to be a great time for you. You know that. And yeah. Make sure you leave a comment on this video and subscribe to us, and we will see you next week. Have a good one.
Have a good one. And if you're a quick tidbit, bonus footage. If you're wondering what my fucking brother is sending in the group chat, it's Pelosi reveals she is a lizard on live TV. So that's just where we're at. And he goes from 11 months ago too.
That when times pass, that's how you know that shit's fucking, because it's still on the internet. It would have been taken off the internet. It would have been taken off if it was incorrect. So.
Right. No, anything on the internet is true.
We'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.
Goodbye.